Good morning. Manchester City have confirmed that Ederson has left Manchester City and joined Fenerbahce, bringing down the curtain on a glorious, glorious era at Manchester City Football Club in the Premier League. And I had to go live and talk about it. Good morning to everyone. Back again with another video. I know we talked about it yesterday, but I think Ederson deserves a standalone video away from the noise of all the transfer stuff, away from the Donnarumma stuff, away from any other rumours from Akanji and Gundogan yesterday. Ederson deserves a moment to be talking about because he is a special goalkeeper, a true legend, and a man that without what his unique skill set, what we've achieved over the past decade under Guardiola, simply would not be possible. I don't think I'm exaggerating there. I truly believe he's redefined what it means to be a goalkeeper in this country. You can go to your local park and you can watch kids pass the ball out from the back. I watch Sunday League teams trying to do it. Sunday League teams with the keeper wearing City shorts trying to do it as well. So you know that this influence is drastic. The way that he's changed the perceptions of football here alongside Guardiola in this league. He's got an incredible legacy, Ederson. The best I've ever seen in terms of a modern goalkeeper passing the ball and so on. And of course, a man who sort of redefined what it meant to take risks in goal. Ederson, yeah, a phenomenal goalkeeper and absolutely deserves the spotlight towards him. And it's just a shame that he's not going to get one last rendition of "He's Brazilian, he only costs 30 million, we think he's fucking brilliant, he's Ederson." I missed that song actually, but he absolutely deserves a rendition of that. And fingers crossed, he gets it at some point because, yeah, a special footballer who's done special things and entertained us for an awful long time. I'll go over to Manchester City's website where the tributes have started. I'll join this article here where it says, Ederson has left Man City after 8 trophy-laden years at the Etihad Stadium. The Brazilian goalkeeper is one of the most successful players in the club's history, winning 18 major honours under Guardiola. That consists of 6 Premier Leagues, 2 FA Cups, 4 League Cups, 3 Community Shields, and our first ever Champions League, UEFA Super Cup, and FIFA Club World Cup successes. His 6 Premier League titles means he's the most decorated goalkeeper in Premier League era of English football, which is crazy. Bruce Grobbelaar, the only man to have done that, which takes me back a long way. That now 31, he's joined Turkish side Fenerbahce, subject to clearance. After arriving in Manchester ahead of the 2017-18 season, he played 372 times across all competitions, as he was the first choice keeper. Only Bernardo Silva's played more games with City than Ederson since the summer 2017. No goalkeeper's ever kept more Premier League clean sheets for City than the Brazilian, 122 coming in 276 league appearances. Yeah, I mean, he was transformative when he signed in 2017 in that summer. Of course, taking over from Bravo, it changed how City played. It changed the confidence of the team, the build-up, the aggression. Suddenly we went from having, a back 4 to build up to a back 5 to build up. It changed absolutely everything. Yeah, as it says here, exceptionally calm under pressure. Passing ability was crucial in starting attacks from deep. And the amount of times you'd see him ping the most absurd 70-yard pass straight onto an attacker's foot, to Haaland, to Aguero, to Sterling, to Sane, to whoever, was absolutely ridiculous. And then, of course, his shot stopping at its very best was excellent. Of course, he may have dipped a little bit towards the end, but his shot stopping, most notably, of course, the Champions League glory in that run to the final, massive stops in big games, huge stops against Inter in his crowning glory moment, really, the Inter Milan game, and absolutely fantastic in that. And of course, it wouldn't be possible without him. Ederson, 3 Golden Gloves awards. He won the award outright both in 2019 and 2020. Shared it in 21-22 with Alisson Becker. Ederson had this to say. He said, "I leave Manchester City incredibly proud of what we achieved together, and I'm honoured to have worn the shirt so many times. Under Pep, we've dominated the Premier League and conquered Europe. It's been amazing." I nearly added a word then. First of all, I'd like to thank him and the head of goalkeeping, Xavier Mancisador, for making me the best goalkeeper I could be and teaching me so much about the game. I would also thank my teammates. Our desire to win every game we play has been a joy to be a part of, and that has made me relish every day on the training field or in the dressing room with every one of you. Finally, the fans, thank you for making me feel at home in the city so far away from where I am from, and for supporting me throughout what has been an amazing period for me and my family. I arrived in Manchester 8 years ago full of hope, but could not have predicted such a beautiful time together. Playing for City has always been the most special time of my life. I'll always be a fan of this special club. I'm going with my wife and children, but I'm leaving a big family here, citizens. Once a blue, always a blue. Yeah, wonderful stuff. I mean, an absolute legend. I mean, I think it's also worth pointing out, a lot was made about the noise on social media from some idiot kids giving him a bit of grief brave towards the end. But I think he would have felt the love in the stadium. Ederson was always a fan favourite, a fantastic keeper who real City fans, and I mean, I generally say that for a reason. I'm not on about ones who are just attached to glory and their own personality. The ones who actually appreciate what he's done know just how good Ederson has been and how fundamental he is to everything. And everyone should give him the respect that he deserves. Viana was talking about him. Viana said, Ederson's been an incredible servant to City. The fact that no goalkeeper's ever won more Premier League titles says everything you need to know about his quality and consistency in a City shirt. He's been a huge figure in all successes over the recent years, and his skills and bravery have been crucial in helping City play the beautiful football we have seen. That word bravery, by the way, is quite important. I want to highlight that because I do think, the one thing Ederson did for Manchester City is he set the tone. He did set the tone. That's one of those things where, he was so brave, and so consistently calm and unflustered that he encouraged the rest of the team to play that way too. You do need a metronome, a tempo setter, and people like that, Ederson, who are that brave and that bold, it makes a difference, Absolutely does. A special keeper. He's truly cemented his place in the history of Manchester City, and we're all wishing well the next chapter of his career, and he leaves us knowing that he'll always be welcomed at his football club. Absolutely. Everyone at City wishes Ederson the best in the next stage of his career. I think we'll go to the gallery now, and is it gallery? It shows some of his big moments and so on. Absolutely. It's a goalkeeper like any other. Yeah, exactly. City's career in pictures. I mean, it's just a bunch of pictures here. Who's Scott Carlson? Just look at Ederson. I also want to remind people of bored Ederson. Do you remember when Ederson was bored? He used to just do mad things, and we used to laugh at it because he was so brilliant. It was always such good fun. I will never get bored of bored Ederson. There's him with the Champions League trophy with Jack there, Club World Cup. Yeah, just an absolute legend of a player and a phenomenal footballer. And I've already seen someone on Twitter mock me saying club legend, whatever. Just because a player's form may have dipped at some point, it does not mean at any point that this guy isn't a club legend. Absolutely, unequivocally a club legend. The way that Gundo's form dipped when he came back doesn't mean he's not a club legend. The thing is, a legend isn't only someone who's at the very best throughout the entirety of their career. A legend is someone who's contributed in inexplicable amount to the club. He's our greatest ever goalkeeper. I mean, that's a fact in my eyes. You might argue that someone like Joe Hart had more ability, or Bert Troutman, special keeper back then. But in terms of what he's ever achieved, no one can even hold a candle to Ederson as a goalkeeper. He's proved it at the highest level consistently in the biggest games, in the biggest moments, and being there at the heart of our greatest ever sides. So as much as you want to mock him for maybe shot stopping not being 10 out of 10, it was at least a 7 out of 10, but his other stuff made him a 9 out of 10 goalkeeper permanently for Manchester City always. And for me, Ederson is a unique, wonderful, special footballer, and I will not take any slander towards him. He's obviously a legend, the number one. This guy will be. Look, the thing is as well, I think time will age Ederson really nicely. I think we'll look back in 20 years and go, we had this keeper and he was an absolute mad bastard. Corrigan all day. What did Corrigan achieve compared to Ederson, mate? Look, Corrigan was I'm sure he's a very great keeper, but did he ever play at the level that Ederson did? And I mean that in the nicest possible way. Was he the bedrock of 6 Premier League titles, the Champions League, and all that kind of stuff? The level that he played at was absolutely ridiculous, man. Come on, we have to be. He can't save a shot, really. Give it over, mate. If you're old enough to say Corrigan, you're old enough to say that's not true about Ederson in the Champions League final. We won a Champions League because of Ederson saves in the final. So bullshit on that one, mate. I'm sorry. I just won't take it today of all days. People acting like Ederson couldn't save a shot. He wasn't the world's best shot stopper, but could he save? Absolutely. And did he make big saves? Absolutely. So that's just not true. I'm not having that at all. So and as I was saying, then I do think time will treat Ederson really, really well. I think we'll all talk about 20 years from now, and I'll tell my son when he grows up, we had this keeper Ederson. When by that time, Ruben will be like, Ederson will be like 10 years ago, and we'll say, he was special. He did mad things, the composure on the ball, the assist, the erraticness at times, but it was absolutely brilliant. It's one of those things where we understand that he wasn't a perfect goalkeeper, but no one is, but perfect for what we needed to be. And I think he'll go down as also a bit of a cult hero, and also being a legend at the same time. I mean, Ederson, a phenomenal keeper, and the most important. Some people would argue is the most important signing for Guardiola. I don't think that's even controversial. Was there anyone more transformative for Guardiola than Ederson? Who was more transformative? Like, the whole system was built from the back of Ederson playing that way. So, like, I don't think it's even ridiculous to say that, man. It's like it's a truly special a role that he had. And I know he did dip a little bit after the treble. He did. I think he lost a little bit of focus, and I think his shot-stopping and decision-making suffered a little bit towards the end of his Manchester City career, but that doesn't undermine just how important he was for an awful long time. There's a natural decline for most people before they start to leave the club, but that doesn't change who they are, and it doesn't change what they were, and it doesn't change where they came from. And I think anyone suggesting otherwise is revisionism, and it's not fair, or it's just sort of personal, so I won't take it. I really won't. Ederson... you only got to look around the Premier League to see what he's done to the game and how people play, and I think the football's better for it, to be honest. I think football's more technical, more interesting. I think football's way more enjoyable than it was 30 years personally. People pretend it isn't, but I watched 30 years ago. The quality was terrible. It was just kick and rush, man. It was, because I remember, because I watched up growing it. I don't know where we go from here, and we'll see. But this is not Ederson's problem. 31 years old, it feels like he could have played for an awful lot more. But I suspect Ederson, he's sort of achieved what he wants to achieve, in European football. He's not going to Fenerbahce to win the Champions League again, is it? He's not obviously going there to win that. So I think largely he's won his lot, and I think he's going to have a really nice time in Turkey, enjoy himself. And I wouldn't say he's at a retirement stage, but he's not far away from sort of relaxing a little bit, because clearly he could go to a sort of higher club potentially still, I reckon. And he could be Manchester City's number one still if he wanted to, but he's just sort of checked out. So it is what it is, and it's fine. A remarkable goalkeeper. And I suspect, as I said, time will be very kind to him, and it should be. Ederson, insanely unique. I didn't even know goalkeepers could exist like him beforehand. I truly didn't. I'd never seen a goalkeeper like him. I'd never had a goalkeeper that made me laugh out loud, not just because of the ridiculousness, but for the brilliance at the same time, like Ederson did. I don't know. They should stop shops. Well, guess what he did? Otherwise, we wouldn't have won leagues. Everyone acts like he was this absolute pauper in front of goal that he couldn't save a shot. That's disingenuous. His shot stopping did dip a little bit towards the end of his career, but there was a time actually, especially early on in his career, where Ederson looked pretty electric in front of goal, and he would look aggressive, and he was really effective in Manchester City too. He rushed out an awful lot more. You'd see him on the halfway line a little bit, the bored Ederson memes, but he was effective. He was damn effective. Not the longest video in the world, guys. I'll be live again later if Donnarumma is announced, of course, and if anything happens with Gundogan or so on. But I wanted to give Ederson a little bit of space, because I think Ederson, brilliant keeper, and incredibly important. Eddie, thanks for everything, man. You're an absolute legend. Up the Blues. Bye-bye, guys.